Welcome to Films and Stuff with your hosts, Pete Mitchell and Ethan Hunt.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Films and Stuff. I'm Ethan, joined by the MVP, Most Valuable Pete. Hey, Pete. How are you today?
I am great, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. Saturday morning means one thing only. That is a new episode of Stream or Skip. I introduce it with a lot of enthusiasm. I turn it over to you, and you explain in one deep breath, 15 seconds or less, for our new listeners, or listeners who may have forgotten, what is the concept and the rules of Stream or Skip? Take it away, MVP.
All right, thanks. So Ethan and I have prepared lists of TV shows for each other to watch. Every week we randomly assign each other one of those shows. We watch at least 2 episodes if it's a series, or 30 minutes if it's a feature-length program. And on that basis, we determine if that show is worthy of being streamed or skipped.
Henceforth, the name Stream or Skip. Pete, kick it off today. What was your assignment?
All right, so first episode of Stream or Skip of the year, I had to watch what they call a dramedy. So it's half drama, half comedy on Netflix called Boots.
Okay.
It is a military-themed coming-of-age series. It's about a young man who is bullied in high school. He's got like a not great family life. You know, his brother's a bit of a jerk. His mom is one of those people who's not really there. She's not paying attention to anything. And he's got a best friend who enlisted for the Air Force, but was kicked out of the Air Force because his eyesight wasn't good enough. This is set in the early 90s. He is gay, but of course he doesn't tell anyone that, and nobody else knows except his best friend.
There is a lot of dramedy in this, huh?
Exactly. And then his best friend says, well, I'm going to enlist in the military, and specifically the Marine Corps, and you're in this crappy situation at home. You're not really sure what you're going to do with your life. You just graduated high school. Why don't you join with me? And then, of course, again, this is the 90s, so there was the don't ask, don't tell system in place. So no one was really worried about him being gay, and it wasn't really an issue because he wasn't going to tell anyone that he's gay. That's the premise of the series.
So far from what you've described, it seems more drama than comedy.
I 100% agree because it's described as a dramedy. I didn't find anything hilarious in this at all.
Yeah, it's like a serious topic.
Yeah, and it's not, save Pauly Shore and Steve Martin in the Army now and Sergeant Biltmore comedies from the early 90s or mid-90s. The military isn't really known for its comedic anything, right? Or Stripes with Bill Murray.
I think you've got to go really, really goofy if you're going to make like a military comedy. It can happen. Like there's a lot of kind of like police academy themed like comedies that are military settings, but then you've got to like really lean into it. And it's got to be like really silly and goofy, right?
100%. And after 2 episodes, I mean, there was nothing funny in this. It all seemed relatively serious. I didn't get any comedic anything out of it. It just wasn't for me. It's just, there was nothing hooking me to it. And more importantly, the series was supposed to be renewed for a second series, and it was canceled at Netflix.
Oh man, that's got to piss you off. I know that's your like number one criteria for whether you should get emotionally invested in a show.
Exactly, right? So when that happened, I was just like, okay, well, what's the point? Like whatever, cliffhanger there may or may not be at the end of this series is not going to get resolved. So I'm out. The show was fine. Production values are great. Actors seem to be doing a good job. But like there was absolutely nothing that got me interested in this show. So for me, this is as strong a skip as I can give it.
Oof. Sometimes you try to couch it. You try to be like a little bit like generous and give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, well, it's not for me, but it's probably a skip. This is like as strong of a skip as you can give.
Yeah, because I don't know who the target audience is. Like, I don't think there's, like, sometimes you're right. I do try to cushion the blow, and I'll be like, well, I don't like it, but this could be for my mom.
Right.
This could be for my dad. This could be for, my cousin who's into this. I don't know who this is for.
That's a Netflix, though, issue, which is they throw a lot of stuff against the wall and
Absolutely.
try to, like, hook a demographic and try to say, like, well, if you like this, you'll like this. But, like, if it's not for you, it's like a hard pass.
Yeah. No redeeming qualities, in my opinion.
Well, I hate to pile on, but you assigned me something called Lazarus, which is on Amazon Prime. And to understand Lazarus, it's a British TV series, but it's based on the author Harlan Coben. He's a prolific American writer of kind of like mystery novels and thrillers. So I came into this with probably a positive outlook, which is, all right, this guy's a prolific writer. He's widely recognized, obviously very popular. This should be something. I thought Lazarus was going to be pretty good. Like, I was kind of excited for it. It's described as a horror thriller television miniseries for Amazon Prime and so on and so forth. It is dark in two ways. Filmography is very dark. And the subject matter is dark. Claflin plays a character named Joel Lazarus. Which is a pretty powerful name. And he's a forensic psychiatrist. And he's dealing with kind of like two traumas in his life. One, his father committed suicide when he was a child. And his sister, she was murdered when he was a child as well. So he's got like these two very, very deep-seated, I guess, issues that are still haunting him. And we find that he's not actually convinced that his father committed suicide for a lot of reasons, but he doesn't believe that his father committed suicide, but there's kind of like no specific evidence to the contrary. And, the unsolved murder of his sister obviously is taking a toll on him as well. So when we pick this up, he's a well-established middle-aged guy, who's got a proper career. So it's not clear what exactly triggers this, but he starts to experience like these strange, call them visions, or maybe even like daydreams or kind of nightmares, where he kind of becomes like his father and sees things through his father's eyes. And it's a little bit strange. And I think the best way to describe it is a little bit like Sixth Sense, remember with Haley Joel Osment and with Bruce Willis, where he starts to kind of like see dead people, but experience his visions through the eyes of the dead people, primarily his father. And he kind of uses these visions, like when he snaps back to reality, then he kind of uses what he saw to connect the dots and to try to like resolve these cold cases or old files or something. That's the background of this, which is okay. When I heard the title Lazarus, just like kind of like the biblical Lazarus rising from the dead, I kind of thought it'd be like something based around that. But I guess this is not totally dissimilar to that. But when I kind of got into the plot, my enthusiasm diminished quite a bit. I'm like, I don't know if this is really what I want to see. But I have to say, having watched 3 episodes, I'm highly confused by the plot. Maybe not the plot, but the events that are coming from the plot. Like, I get it. He's starting to have visions, and he's going to use these visions to try to solve his father's murder/suicide, and maybe even his sister's murder/suicide. But I felt like he's being just like torn in like all these places. Like one episode, he's got this vision, so he's like chasing it. And I don't want to say like the analogy, kind of like a dog, but it's like you throw the dog like a tennis ball, and the dog's like chasing, right? And then he's like, oh, well, that's a dead end. Okay, great. Then he has another vision, and it's like another tennis ball, and as a dog, he's like chasing. Oh, well, that's a dead end. It didn't mean anything. So basically what I'm saying is that every episode, he's having a vision, but he doesn't know if the vision's relevant or not. He doesn't even know if they're like real visions, right? It's just kind of like a dream or something. But he's like got this pursuit of them to see like where they end up. And there's just so many dead ends. I mean, all I've seen is dead ends so far. So it's like, oh, great. Well, he found the murderer because he saw this thing and he chases it. And then like the person's exonerated. And it's just kind of like unfulfilling that you get emotionally invested in kind of like, oh, well, this is obviously the killer. This is the person that's got something to do with it. And then like at the end of an episode, it's just like a big letdown, like, oh, spoiler alert or twist. Person had nothing to do with it. It's just a coincidence. And that's why they saw them do this. You know, it wasn't they were stabbing someone. They were just cutting a piece of chicken in the kitchen. I'm making that up. That's not really a thing, but you understand.
Yeah.
So I guess I just didn't really feel any emotional payback for my investment in every episode. Like there wasn't like this coherent plot that was being advanced every episode. It was like, well, we're back at zero. He doesn't know who the killer is or if there's a killer. Oh, he just had a vision. Let's spend the rest of the episode chasing that vision. Oh, it was nothing. Okay, well, let's start all over again. The overall plot thread is consistent, but it wasn't like the events from one episode had any ongoing relevance to the subsequent episode. It was just kind of like dead ends. And then the dead end, just like when you're driving, you reach a dead end, you turn around and like that dead end didn't really get you anywhere. Man, this is a great cast. It's a really kind of interesting idea. It's played very well. It's kind of got creepiness and suspense. All that's great, but the plot is pretty loose and all these like twists and turns that lead nowhere is really unsatisfying. So, with all that in mind, I have to give Lazarus, Harlan Coben's Lazarus, a skip.
Oh, boo. I saw the trailer and I really expected a little bit more of a sci-fi-esque thing. Yeah. And because of the visions, right? I was like, oh, maybe he's got like the superpower or something like that, but
it was disappointing. I mean, I gave it 3 episodes, and the reason I gave it 3 episodes I was kind of like, oh, this seems to be something that like maybe it's just taking me a little bit longer to get into, but like it's going to flip quickly, and then I'm going to be like totally sucked in, right? Like,
right.
You know, the first episode was pretty meh, and I'm like, I don't think I get it. And then I read about it a little bit. I'm like, okay, fine. Like, I guess I get the plot. Okay, let's see episode 2. Episode 2, like, was a big letdown. I'm like, okay, well, like, now episode 3's got to stitch this all together. And this is the one where it, like, really takes off, right? And then episode 3 was a letdown as well. I'm like, well, what am I doing here? Like, where is the payoff for the audience putting in the time? You know, like, you're getting me so emotionally invested in, like, this character, this suspect, or this issue. I really felt like the rug was pulled out from underneath me because it would just be like the showrunners. I'm sure it's not like this, but I felt like the showrunners were like, okay, so we've got 90 seconds left.
Yeah.
What can we do to like reverse everything that has been like suspenseful leading up to this? Oh, well, let's just fabricate this type of coincidence and that will explain it away. Oh, great idea. And they'd be like, aha, you didn't know this, and that explains it all, so there's nothing to see here. I was like, what? Like, what's the point of, like, dragging this out and all this moodiness and suspense and slow and creepiness and, like, crescendo, right? Like, building up, and then it was at the end, oh, surprise, it was just a weird coincidence. This person had nothing to do with it whatsoever. Oh. Lovely. Like, why are you leading me on? You know? So, again, I give it a skip. Kind of disappointed that I have to give it a skip. I mean, my score is set in stone. I mean, it will not change. But I'm kind of disappointed because, like, everything else around it was kind of okay. That it would have been, I like the dude. I kind of liked the setting. I liked a lot of things about it. But, like, story-wise, it wasn't doing anything for me at all. In fact, it was more frustrating than anything. So Lazarus is a skip. Boots is a skip. And that is, let's be optimistic. That means there's nowhere to go up but up. Where are we going up next week?
All right, so for next week, my friend, you are on Netflix, a show that you have previously said you wanted to watch, and thankfully that's what has been assigned to you. You are watching His and Hers, the thriller.
Yeah.
And I am on HBO Max. That's right, HBO Max, not HBO, not Max.
Not Discovery.
They're back to HBO Max now. I'm watching a show called The Chair Company.
HBO Max is like the Chad Ochocinco of like television. Honestly. Like constantly changing the name. Like, who are you? So we're back to HBO Max. His and Hers on Netflix. I have heard from one person. Actually, I've only known one person who's talked about it with me. But based on that very limited sample, that person raved about it.
Oh, okay.
But they did not give me any, to be honest, I don't know what it's about. I don't know if it's a romance, if it's, I'm not entirely sure what it is, actually. But the person, it was just kind of like a casual conversation, like, oh, you watching anything interesting? They're like, oh my gosh, I just finished His and Hers on Netflix. It was fantastic. I binged it. I loved it. You got to watch it. I was like, whoa, like, okay, I appreciate that. Like, they were super enthusiastic about it, but no spoilers at all. And again, I don't know if it's I think it's not a comedy, but I don't know if it's like a love story, if it's kind of like a thriller or what. But this one person was who I feel like I've got a good amount of commonality in terms of how we view television series and streaming.
Right.
Like I would feel like we're more aligned than not. So the fact that they thought it was fantastic makes me think that I will probably like it if I had to guess right now.
Okay.
But I can't tell you anything about it. So Pete, let's reconvene in 1 week and review The Chair Company on the rebranded HBO Max and His and Hers on Netflix.
If you have any thoughts on Boots, if you have any thoughts on Lazarus or Harlan Corbin or anything else, leave a comment below, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you know when the next episode of the Films and Stuff podcast drops for you.
I would like someone to tell me, for Harlan Coben, give me one book I should read or one movie or TV series that I should watch that would like give me the one, right? Like every restaurant's got like a specialty. Tell me the one book that this guy's written or the one show that, is based on that book that I should watch that would really, really like satisfy me. I'd love to know that because this guy's like list is just like bonkers. Like he's so well accomplished, but the fact that his name's on this thing and it's as rubbish as it is a little bit surprising in that way. In any case, Pete, appreciate you tuning in, or I should say participating. Listeners, appreciate you tuning in. And we will see you next week, next episode, Films and Stuff podcast. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Ethan. Thanks, everyone.
Bye now.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Films and Stuff. If you haven't already, please subscribe and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever podcasts are downloaded. Films and Stuff. There is no substitute.